Welcome to Spotlight. I'm your host, Amitha. Join us weekly to get inspired by success stories and transformational events. In today's world, we can be caught up in materialism. It steers us away from the path of happiness and health. Then we have to turn to spiritual leaders who can guide us back on track. Our guest today is a world-renowned, enlightened master who is helping millions across the world with her techniques and way of life. It's my pleasure to welcome back to our show, Anadmurti Gurumaa. Gurumaa, it's always a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
So today I'm very excited for our viewers to get enlightened on some of the ways we can tackle issues by looking within ourselves. So first of all, let's just talk about generally in North America, how people are always saying, oh, I'm stressed, work is stressing me, family is stressing me. So what is that all about in your opinion?
The stress is basically the drive which the people have in their mind to, one, to get their basic necessities fulfilled, and two, to have a social standing with the money, and three, to have a recognition, and four is the need to have appreciation. So these four things are making people go run, and nobody else is giving them that stress. Yes, you need to work to survive, to maintain your needs and house and pay your bills. But the other three things, which are more social, or what society expects you to do, and then what you expect the society to give you back, and that is a medal that you have arrived, an appreciation, or you have done it, or your face is right in the newspaper, and people can see, and now nobody's whom you know is in the paper, but you are in the paper, so this recognition and the appreciation. So man is more hungry for appreciation than for bread.
Want than the need.
So you can buy a bread so easy. You can get it from, these free food serving people. The access to the food is not tough, but to get appreciated, because out of billions of people, everybody feels I'm lost, I'm a nobody. Now, how do I get a sense that I am somebody? To get that sense of being somebody, that requires only in their mind that if I'll have more money, and if I'll have more people applauding me for my money, or if I have power, and there will be thousands of people who will vote for me, and who will vouch and be inspired from me. So the appreciation and being at a higher pedestal is something which is making people go out to do work, and less than the physical work. It is their mind which is creating this whole stress. How it will happen, when it will happen. And that's why if you see the following which people have in their mind for sportsperson, or for film actors, or for singers, or for a politician, it's not because of their game or acting skills or singing skills. It is because when you become famous, you are recognized. Then you are appreciated. Then people will salute you. Then you are at a higher pedestal. So the need to be at a higher pedestal and to be appreciated and applauded and recognized is actually creating a stress. Otherwise, where is the stress?
So if you look for validation outside,
it's the validation. Yeah. It is the validation, because now you are expecting other hundred or thousands of mind to get impressed from you, and then you have to have some skill in you which will make you stand out from others. So this is something which is coming out of sheer need and hunger of appreciation. If only man and woman could be taught how to not to have this kind of hunger, not to have this kind of a drive, which is a psychological pressures which are being placed on the mind. And hence we are having these ideas that I am nothing and I have to be something. And then my name should be, written on the streets and the roads and the walls, and people are clapping. And if you see psychologically, this is something which we see very naturally and cutely and innocently in children.
Yeah, we're just going to tackle how you said, it's and learn it.
The children.
Yeah.
But the body grows in time from child to an adult body. But actually the mind never grows.
Interesting.
So mind is still stuck. So a 50 or 40 or 60-year-old man or a woman has a mind of, say, 4 or 5-year-old kid. So, when a kid recites a poem, even if it is a bad poem, whole family claps, oh, wow, great. And child is so happy, beaming. So the same kid is hidden in every adult, an adolescent and a teenager. But now the things are different. It's not that even say if you recite a poem for your friends, and if you are bad, I'm not saying you are bad, but say if the words were bad or the singing was bad, your friends will say, oh, it was not good. Or say it up front, or say something later on, which will definitely come back to you. That's going to give a pain. So we are no more a kid, but we behave like a kid. So because we are behaving like a kid, so kid is throwing a tantrum, looks nice. But when an adult throws a tantrum, it never looks nice.
So we have to adapt. That mind has to change. But I guess in most of us, that is only possible if somebody like yourself is guiding and trains.
That is the training. Yeah. That is the training which is missing. So you might have a PhD degree. Maybe you have a PhD degree in psychiatry. And yet you are a slave of your own mind, like anybody who doesn't have any degree. So what's the difference?
So that's why we have to learn about mind over matter.
Yeah.
And you're going to tell us some techniques about that. But before that, it's time for a short break. Welcome back to Spotlight. We are talking to the world-renowned spiritual leader, Anadmurti Gurumaa. So this is great. We have the physiology behind why the mind is stuck in a childlike position. And now we have knowledge from you how we can train the mind. So tell us more.
The mind can only be trained with wisdom. So first, the realization is very important. The realization about, I am higher than the mind. Mind is just like a tool, like I use my hand whenever I need it. But say if the hand begins to move on its own, then it's a troublesome. Similarly, mind is my tool. So I should know how to use this tool. When we don't know how to use the mind, then mind uses us. And when mind will use us, then it is definitely going to abuse. So the stress, the anxiety, the difficulty of sleep, the difficulty of being in a relationship, the difficulty of being alone, the difficulty of being in people. So there are hundreds of diseases which crop out from this untrained mind. Mind is not the master. I am, but when I'm saying I am, then you have to understand from the Vedantic concept, the clarity is very important. The body, senses, mind, intellect, consciousness. These are the layers, One is grosser, the other is subtler, to the other, to the other, to the other. So mind is subtle, but your consciousness is more subtle. And what is beneath that consciousness or transcending the consciousness is the real self. So until we have not understood what this real self is, we will always be like a slave of the mind. And when the mind is the master, why would mind listen what we are asking the mind to do? So everybody wants a peaceful mind, but they don't have it. Nobody wants an agitated mind, but they still have it. Nobody wishes to be feeling lonesome or sobbing or crying or in a sad mood, yet the mind has its own tuning. And why it is happening is that we do not understand that one, mind is not you, and second, mind is different from you. Three, this wisdom will then take you to have a bird's view of the mind. So the Vedantic knowledge is very important. And obviously, after this Vedantic knowledge, if we go into the path of yoga, then yoga gives us a lot deeper understanding of the mind. For example, if I say take the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, it says Sukh Anushayi Ragaha, that mind will be attached to anything which brings happiness. Sukh Anushayi. Anushayi means to follow. So wherever the happiness is, mind will just follow that. Now, but mind doesn't have the wisdom that this happiness which I am expecting from a body or an object is not going to stay. For example, the apple is going to rot after some time. So I cannot have eternal joy from the apple. And a body which has another mind in it is not going to be the same. It too will rot one day. Meaning mind is bound to change. Like your
forever.
mind. Yeah, your mind is. So today somebody is your great friend, tomorrow the person is not. And sometimes you hold on to your grudges and hatred and anger, hence you create enemies. And if you have an enemy, the enemy will give you more pain. Now, our mind wanted joy, our mind wanted happiness, and yet we end up with sadness and pain. Because the lack of wisdom is there. So the happiness from an object, I'm saying, no, you can put any object in that.
Yeah, generally.
I'm saying happiness from a human being, now bring all the relations into that. If you are dependent into this, you cannot remain happy or peaceful. You will have some drama happening in your life. Separation, death, demise, sickness, or the total negation of that, meaning that object just leaves your life, meaning the person has died or has flown somewhere at a distant place. Now here you are just remembering and being bothered about it. So the wisdom is important. And then comes the tools of, how to calm down the mind. But if you don't have wisdom, I can tell you 100 techniques. Even after doing the techniques, you will be miserable.
So wisdom is the starting point.
Yeah.
And then we need the technique to kind of express
first wisdom, which will come from the Vedanta. Vedanta is the Upanishadic knowledge. So, because it's not talking about anything unseen or unrelatable. It's talking very logical about you, about the truth, and about the fundamental nature of the mind, and the properties of the mind. And when we understand one mind, and we go into the layers of the mind, actually we get to understand the layers of all minds which are around us. It's like understanding one molecule, and then you know about all. Understanding one atom, then you know about all. Similarly, understanding about my own mind. Isn't it strange? Man has walked up the Mount Everest, gone to the moon, gone to the Mars, but has not understood his or her own mind.
What lies within has not been understood yet.
Has not been understood.
So we have to tackle that issue first and then kind of customize it. But that's where, like you said, techniques like yoga come into being, like it being yoga nidra being a boon to mankind. So we would like to...
I would like to just add on to that yoga nidra is going to work on the mind. But I have also observed, if you have, say, lumbar pain or sciatic pain or abdominal pain or even acidity or a headache or a blocked nose, how will you do yoga nidra?
True.
So this means the physical health is also very important. Hence the need of doing the yoga asanas comes into there. So if you train yourself under a good teacher, and apart from yoga asanas, there's another thing which most of the North Americans are not even aware of, and that is the yogic kriyas. There are 6 kriyas which you learn, and these 6 kriyas will make your body phlegm-free, acid-free, make it alkaline, declog, no obstruction, takes care of the inflammations, and now you are fit to have a proper deep breath. Say if you're having sinus issues, or if you're even having a simple cold, now I might say take a deep breath. You cannot, your nose is blocked.
Physically
so what
unable.
to do about that?
Okay.
So the yoga asanas, step 1. Step 2 comes the yoga kriyas to purify the body. Step 3 comes doing the pranayam. And then comes the 4th step, the yoga nidra. So there are 4 things. So you have to begin systematically. So you learn it, you do it. See, the yoga is not going to talk about belief. No belief of hell or heaven or Jannat or Hoor or this or that. It says, know it first your own body. Learn to declog it through yogic kriyas. Then sit down in stillness without moving your limbs, keeping your head and neck erect, keeping your spinal column erect. Now you are fit to do your pranayam. Once you do the pranayam, putting stillness or calmness in your mind is just, I always say, it's just the baby's thing to do. It's the most simplest thing to do. As easy as for a fish to swim. But if you do not follow the system properly, then you are just trying to do so much and yet not succeeding in doing anything. So it's a gradual, slow learning and then
step by step.
Yeah, consistent practice.
Yes.
So,
yes.
So that's very important part.
So it's step by step, consistency. We want to learn more.
Yeah.
But before that, it's time for a short break. Welcome back to Spotlight. We are getting enlightened by Anadmurti Gurumaa. So this is great. So you talked about the different types of yoga that have to be taken step by step.
Yes.
So tell us more.
For example, people have a lot of issues, like physical issues I'm saying. They don't have real hunger. The hunger which you have after seeing an advertisement on a billboard is not a real hunger. Okay. People don't have real hunger. People don't have the ability to evacuate their bowels properly. Very important issue, right? 3, people are unable to sleep naturally. So if you see the Northern America, the highest amount of the drugs which are being prescribed, 1 are for the sleep, people can't sleep. 2, people have acidity issues, right? And 3, the bowel movement is not happening. Hence, there's a lot of, things being sold over the counter. Sometimes I wonder what kind of development has happened where you have lost your sleep, lost your hunger, and lost your ability to be calm and happy. So
Basic
what
things.
kind of development is that? Something is really gone wrong, and people don't know, what to do about it. And hence the importance of following the, I would say, a yogic day schedule. And we call it dincharya. Din means day and charya means how you will behave or how your schedule should be. Same goes for the night. We call it ratri charya, meaning at the night what you should do so that you have a good sleep. It's very odd that sometimes, I'm putting so much stress onto it, but so important this is. Let's see, if you don't sleep properly, then your hormones will not function properly. When your hormones will not function properly, then your hunger, thirst, and the menstrual cycle will go haywire. Right?
That's
and
true.
even your sleep will go haywire because more stress means more cortisol in the body. More cortisol means you cannot sleep, you're agitated, and you will be having a lot of acidity issues and you will be having inflammation issues. Now, if we bring calmness to the mind, and because of that calmness, if you can sleep properly, hence all these issues will just go away. See, if you see a child sleeps so nicely and sound sleep is there. and sleeps almost 14 to 16 hours, and see how beautifully the child's body is growing, and there isn't any issues. Whatever issues like the allergies, which I find in North America, every third, fourth person is having some kind of allergy, and they are blaming the gluten or nuts. But I totally disagree with that. It's not the gluten, it's not the wheat, it's not the milk, it's not the nut. It's your own system.
It's attacking.
It's basically, the Ayurveda says when you have too much of pitta in your body, then you will be having the allergy issues. Then you will be having the skin rashes issues. Then you will be having the sleep disruption issues. So Ayurveda talks about that, how to have that right schedule, and that this means to have a very sparky hunger when it is time to eat, and then not to eat in between. Then you drink when you are supposedly really, really thirsty. And I have observation that over here, the glass is filled with ice, and then on the top a water or a soda is filled up, or a juice is filled up. Ice is not good for the body. What is our body temperature?
The core is, yeah.
What is the temperature of that icy cold water? So when this icy cold water drink or water goes in your body, the body actually has to fight to bring down the temperature, meaning to raise the temperature of the food or the drink which we have taken. So a lot of energy is lost in that. And then whatever you eat, body finds it difficult to digest, hence slow digestion. Hence bad absorption of the nutrition will happen. Hence you will be malnourished even though eating good food. Right? Actually we are eating too much food. So again comes in the mind, why people are eating too much food? Because they are finding happiness in the food. You won't find happiness in bagel or a donut. That has to be in your mind.
Yeah, you're trying to fill that void that is created within, because you don't realize it.
The sugars will hit the brain, and this glucose gives a happy feeling. Like a child is, if a very sensible mother will not feed a child too much sugar, because she says if sugar goes in, the child will get hyper. Isn't it true for the adults also? But too much of chocolates, too much of carbonated. So the dincharya is all bad. So only if we can correct our food and our liquids intake, so many things can be resolved. And then moving the body in a right direction, that is through the yoga asanas. Now these two things in combination, wisdom, yoga asana, and right diet. If you have these three things, then the need to have happy feeling from food or alcohol will actually go away. Mind wants to be calm intrinsically. Mind wants to be happy. Nobody's teaching us, but every mind wants to have this feeling. But if I don't know how to be calm inside and be still, have a still mind. See, like if you have, Canada is such a beautiful country. There are certain areas which has very still lake. And in the still lake, it's like a mirror. And the mountain and the tree is getting reflected into that. Same thing. Our mind is today a very turbulent water. If we settle down our mind like that lake, then Vedanta says the Ananda Swarup, the blissful embodiment, God is right within you. Hence, the reflection of, like the mountain is coming in the water, same, the bliss will be reflected in your mind only if you still your mind. If the mind is still, then you can have a very happy, a still, a calm, a mind with the equipoise, right? Now when you are happy from within, when you will go to food, you will eat only that much which is required to the body, not to feel happy that you are eating, like a glutton.
So in the end, it's all about training the mind.
Training the mind in right direction.
Well, that was Anadmurti Gurumaa, who has inspired us to turn towards our mind and train it towards true happiness. Well, that's a wrap for this week's show. Thank you for watching us. Continue to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and write to us at spotlight@ethnicchannels.com. Until next week, this is Amitha signing off, encouraging you to look within.